Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Ryu, and joining me now at the Xfinity desk is Da Bears.
How's it going?
It's going well, man. Before we take a look at the Renegades EchoFox matchup, I wanted to take a moment to thank one of the sponsors that helps to make this season possible. They also quench the thirst of a man growing a beautiful mustache that is blue. Thank you, Mountain Dew, for those elements of support that you've continued to demonstrate throughout this season.
Support the stash.
Support this. You know what? Do the do. Support the stash.
Support stash.
We love you, Blue. Rap God. So we're going to take a look at the roster for EchoFox. EchoFox had a really good start to the season. They've fallen off a little bit, been very inconsistent. They had a very, very big win over Team Liquid today in the E-League qualifier.
Oh, yeah, that's
So we
huge.
take a look here. Roka, Rix, Sean Gares, Shazam, Freakazoid is their roster. What is that? What kind of boost to morale and confidence does a big win like that give to you as a team?
I mean, being able to win and beat Team Liquid in those matches is a huge boost of confidence, and it just takes you to a whole new hiding chance in the game, and just like the overall thing is just that they're just headshotting. They're going to play a little more loose. They're going to hang out and just have a fun time in this match.
Quiet confidence.
Quiet confidence. Maybe a little more. I mean, with Shazam, he's been...
Maybe not quiet.
Well, he's not that quiet, but he's been playing pretty well, and he really carried them in these wins against in the E-League tournament.
He did, yeah. He had a really, really good day of Counter-Strike. And then the other side, Renegades, AZR, JKS, Yam, Yustillo, and Ricky. They actually just fell in the same qualifier for E-League, but they fell 2-0 to Optic. So talk to me about trying to just like flush out that negative energy, and then we're gonna have you just let's start there.
Little there, all right. Well, I mean, obviously, you come here, you want to practice, you want to win, you expect to be a top team in this league, and you lose. I mean, that's just that that hurts. Like you don't. I mean, like what else can you do? Like it's not an easy thing to lose, and just losing that fashion, it's not a great feeling.
So we were talking, and you told us this amazing story about how you once got in the head of an opponent, because we know the mental aspect of the game is so huge.
It is.
Can you just real quick, give us the story? We're going to send it over to the casters, then we're going to elaborate on the story. Back on the desk.
So it was back in like 2004. I played against a team called NOA, and there was a person on the team named Nikon who was a awesome person. He's a great player. I advise you guys do not do this. You might get charged with assault in that matter. But right before the match, I came up to him, I shook his hand, and then I licked his hand right before the match. And he freaked out. He completely freaked out. In my mind, I was like, this is a mind game. What can I do to get in this guy's skin? And I licked his hand, and he completely lost his mind and started yelling. And, like he didn't know what to do.
Who won that match?
I mean, he did terrible. Okay, let's just say that. They only won the match because Shaguar tossed flashes under the ramp box. He tossed under the backs a couple times, but that's a whole different story. He played really bad, and I think that my mind games really help that.
All right, well, we're going to toss this one over to the casters. Hopefully no hands were licked in this one out of the 10 players in the server. Take it away, guys.
All right, thank you very much, guys. It is me, and joining me at the caster desk is Dazed. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. I'm excited to watch this Nuke match. Excited to learn a few things, because I know both teams are going to come out and have some good stuff for us.
And we are going to get directly into the action, too, as EchoFox wastes no time with pushing their way over towards ramp, trying to get down into the B bomb site. GKS is going to be waiting a little bit further below. Gonna work his way over here towards the cubby, too. It really seems like they've got a good lock on him there. Azur saving his teammate from being overwhelmed. He picks up a second, and now Azur peeking back out, finding another one. Shazam responds, but Azur still alive and well, and even as the last man alive tries to jump in his way, Azur shuts it down. It's a quick pistol round for the Renegades.
That was perfect rotation by the door player. Anytime that ramp player is feeling pressure and he knows that he's going to drop, you always want your door player to get down the vent, because then as they chase him, he gets easy kills. Easy kills. So that was just perfect rotation.
Now getting into the second round, of course, the Renegades pick up their buys. I think the usual second round pickups here. Only one rifle being bought onto Ricky, but the rest are here on EchoFox too. Because of no plant, they are going to force up with the Tech 9 buy. Shazam and Sean going for Deagle pickups. However, a lot more hesitant this time, just sitting outside, not wanting to push in, taking their time with things. And waiting to see if the Renegades are going to push forward and make any mistakes too. A lot of aggressive smokes in the CTN. But again, not really spotting anything from EchoFox just yet.
Yeah, and they don't have any utility, so they're probably going to want to lead with the Deagles and see if they can get a nice, Deag headshot and then storm with the Tech 9s, get bombed down, play post plant that way. But without any utility, it's almost surely going to be some type of a Deagle, lead-in strat.
C2 slowly as the timer gets lower and lower. Still plenty of it on the clock now, but he's still though hiding in that shed. Also trying to see if he can grab anything towards the T lobby way.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised if they don't go ramp here. I think they will probably favor towards ramp. You could try to lead in with a Deag there. As soon as you take contact, Tech 9 storm. Good way to win around.
But now still waiting for them to move in here, and JKS is going to be the one that tries to spot it first, but unfortunately he's wrecked by Sean Garris. Spots him with the Deagle, takes him down, and not only are they going for this ramp control too, but Shazam moving outside along with Freak to take outside control too. They're going to have secret push as well as back over there towards the ramp. Now Ustilo does grab that 1 kill, 2 as well from inside, I think closer to the A site. Rix is going to find one, as shall Azur. Although this started off great for EchoFox, now they're going to try to bring it back, and Azur 2 here actually being caught out, but still survives. He's going to try to jump back down, but waiting for Ustilo to remain in a good spot. He's up to 3, and Sean is the last one alive here. Ustilo having some trouble taking him down with the SMG at long range. Sean really just playing with him at this point, but he's surrounded. He's going to have to pull out a miracle here to make this happen, especially with 6 seconds on the clock. He's got to commit to the plant, and that is where Ustilo is finally going to take him down.
Yeah, I think he actually flanked the lobby there to outer. I would have rather had to see I would have rather seen Shazam outside by himself there and then 4 grouped up ramp instead of splitting up like that so much. But now they're in a full eco. Probably just going to try to get bombed down, maybe, an upper rush, sending someone down the vents or something like that. But going back to that last round, if you saw the spot JKS was playing, how you want to play that spot is you generally peak every like 5 to 10 seconds, or maybe a little less than 10 seconds, 5 to 7 seconds, and he just got caught there. He peaked at the wrong time, timing was off. Sean was, basically already posting on it, killed him right away. When you're at that spot, you're hoping that the player takes his crosshair from that spot, then you pop up and just get 2 freebies.
Of course, the third round goes forward pretty much as expected there. The Renegades outgunning EchoFox completely. Now, of course, we get into the gun round, where things get a lot more interesting. Ricky picking up the op. Full buys coming in for both teams here. Renegades trading out the guns a little bit to try and get away from those SMGs, but ending up still with 1 sitting on Ustilo. Not going to matter too much in the grand scheme of things, though, as EchoFox buying up 5 AKs.
And EchoFox had a great T-side versus Liquid, actually, in that E-League match. So I'm wondering if they could replicate that versus Renegades here.
To see is a couple of the players from EchoFox here trying to, definitely leaning towards outside controls. We can tell from the minimap right now. Got 4 players looking to eventually push for control here, and Ricky was actually really good with the op here before, playing it just over here to the edge of the shed, hoping to find some of these players himself, but EchoFox don't find anything on their own initial peaks. So it looks like they've decided to fall back for right now. They are going to wrap back inside of the T lobby way here too, but defenses are set up on every corner. It's never an easy task for the T side to find their way in. However, Renegade's getting a little impatient too, even pushing up towards the Twinkie. Let's see if they can grab anything from that respect, but approaching the 1 minute mark on the clock, we can see EchoFox starting to prep finally, move back outside to take some control there, but also a few players ready to make some noise here at the doorway leading in from the T lobby way. Again, Azur, though, just is going to see that coming from a mile away with that hole in the door, so it's never easy for EchoFox to pierce their way in. Finally, though, they do need to start it, so they will go for the execute, and Azur dips away from it a little bit here. The Molotov comes in from heaven. He is able to smoke it, jumps back down, finds that kill, and not only this, but Ricky picked one up too, and he's still up in the rafters, taking another one. Roka so far, the only one that has been able to impact, and another just drop kill from Ustilo. Shazam down at 7 HP, applies 10, but it doesn't even matter. JKS takes him down anyway, and the Renegades will continue forward as they pick up the first gun round.
Yeah, and they didn't split the defense at all. They didn't make the defense move at all for Renegades. And it's hard enough taking upper just when they have 2 players there. But they basically had Ricky in mini waiting for it because Yam was pushed up outside and there was no ramp pressure. And, it's very difficult to take it when there's 2 players defending it, let alone 4. Because Yam has a quick rotate to mini as well.
So we are, I believe, working on getting into a better Go TV for you guys so we don't have as much lag. The game, as far as I can see, though, is still live. So
yeah, it is. You can actually see it here. EchoFox is just on an eco, though. It's already 5-3. They're probably going to lose this round pretty easily. So
back into the game, pretty much everybody losing their lives. EchoFox tried to put that earlier pressure onto the A-bomb site, but Has been brought down. Shazam, one of the last ones to get knocked out. And Rix trying to hold on himself, but again, pretty quickly eliminated by Yustilo.
And now you're going to see the perils of Nuke here, man, because RNG has a lot of money. They're up 5-0. They have full Molotovs, full smokes, full nades. And whenever the CT side on Nuke gets this type of economic advantage, it's so tough to win. Because a lot of times on Nuke on T side, you win with like 1 or 2 alive, and then you risk getting reset. So it's gonna be a really uphill climb for EchoFox to come back into this and pull off a really good half.
We can see again from EchoFox the same type of opener for themselves, although a little bit more proactive on pursuing for outside control here, and specifically watching for the lobby crunch too. But there's Ricky, a nice shot on a Freakazoid. He tries to move in there. Shazam also on top of the Twinkie too, trying to edge around this, looking for the trade onto Ricky, and he actually catches him running with his back turn. No one's covering that. We'll hunt for more in a second here, but for now it seems like everything's gone quiet as the rest of Renegades do fall back into more default positions where hopefully they won't be spotted by pushing players from EchoFox. Although starting to slowly creep forward. And we can see, again, with the 4-on-4 situation in play, Yustilo has gone way back inside of the bomb site, hanging behind the vents entryway, the old vents entryway. Also, Roka and Shazam, too, still looking for that extra kill that they can use before they really just try to breach and clear here. They found it, but again, the shot doesn't end up hitting. Yeah, just ends up ducking away, goes into hell. EchoFox still looking for that opportunity to push in Shazam at the same time up on top, but well, Yam has been spotted down below here. Shazam hasn't been able to take the shot. There we go. There's the correction onto that one. And in the meantime, closer inside of A, he's still found Roka trying to sneak around there. Eliminated him, so it's still even. EchoFox are still hunting for that advantage, but they can't really seem to get it. And obviously with 30 seconds on the clock, the good news is they get control of Heaven, so they can obviously rat back around here and just try to push in from the opposite direction. But they're also being flanked at the same time by JKS, who's slowly sneaking up behind them. And whether he's actually going to be able to catch these guys outside is still to be seen, but there you go. They both line right up. Shazam and Rix get knocked out. And the last player alive is going to be Sean, but he's only got 10 seconds, and that bomb is still up on top. Don't believe he's really even going to have enough time to make anything happen, so this one's going to the Renegades as well.
That was actually, I mean, besides not watching the flank, that was actually really well played by EchoFox. Shazam was at a spot there where he was able to see Heaven and the window, which essentially means as long as Mini smoked like it was, he could cover any player that they want to go up the catwalk or towards the AC and get towards Heaven and give them so much map control. So that was actually a really good spot by Shazam. He's probably going to go there a lot. Like every time he has an off and he's going outside, that's probably his goal to get to that spot.
So now with EchoFox back up on to the buy once again, they will see pursuing the same option once more. Freakazoid up on top of the Twinkie. You can see Rix and 2 of the other ones too. Shazam grouped up with them once more, but he's actually not going to be heading towards that same spot once again. Just more of a direct push outside, and there's also less resistance here from the Renegades too. Yam up around the wrap side. He does great damage to Rix early on, and they're just going to molly off the approach towards Secret there. Spotting another one pushing up, but Ricky gets a close-up shot here in this little mini alley. Takes him down. Azir with another one. Overall, EchoFox is blanking on all turns right now, but at least Freakazoid gets that kill against Yam. Just a long road to recovery now. Be able to bring this back under their control. And although they have outside pressure, Ricky, a missed shot from him actually could buy them the time they need. He's trying to keep himself alive, but as he knows this other player moving on to Raptors, well, yeah, he has. Takes him down. Azir peeking back out from the A entryway, takes down Shazam. Rix moves in for a trade, but it's Ricky with his pistol to close out the round.
Yeah, in that round you saw how there's just so many spots to watch. Even with the Shazam op covering you on outside, there's just so many angles, so many spots. Yam's played that spot, I think, twice in a row now. Gets a quick dink on, I think it was Roka, crossing to red. And then as soon as kills go down and there's like 3 alive and they already have upper smoked and ramp smoked, they could dedicate a lot of CT resources to outside, peeking all those different angles, and it's really tough to stop as a team.
Once again, EchoFox back down onto just the upgraded pistols this time. We'll be proceeding for outside control, and it's a big group of them too. Not really wanting to toy around with the Twinkie anymore. Good Smokes initially does cover off their approach towards Secret, but Yam's actually got a little bit of a cracked look through here. As they push up though, they're going to be very close to it, but Yam lighting up 2 of them before going down. Thankfully, this is fortified by Roka's earlier kill on Yustilo, but Roka diving in there, grabs another one into a 2-on-2, but also keep in mind both of the Ts also have upgraded guns. There's Sean with an additional pickup against Azir, and all that's left alive here is going to be JKS back towards Heaven. He fires off first, gets a little bit of damage in, but is just going to decide to roll away now and retreat back downstairs to the B site, wanting to take a direct contest versus these players, and he's right about it too. Moving in, they won't be spotting him just yet. This is all going to come down to the way he lines up this angle. Can't push into the vents without making too much noise. Just holding behind the plant spot now. And waiting slowly for that push to move its way in. He'll be surrounded, but he still has a slight advantage from this position, especially if he can catch Shazam first. Sean moves in, he spots that one, denies the plant, and now all he's got to worry about is Shazam. Heard the doors open, but peeks directly out for it anyway. And that's actually going to hand the round over to Shazam.
Yeah, and RNG there, they over-rotated really heavy to outside, and those two smokes were up. They didn't get any of the kills. I was actually watching, I think it was AZR coming from the vents from Secret, and they all collapsed on it, but just couldn't get anything out of it, man. And EchoFox won a really crucial round. They only pistol armored there. They're able to pick up, you know, that off Ricky, and all of a sudden they're back in it. But they do need to start stringing a couple rounds together.
Obviously, as the risk of reset is very much alive and well here, after just dropping those rounds entirely with not a single plant amongst them either. First time they actually are able to get onto the site and pull off the round. Renegades will look to respond to that one and just bring them right back down to the dumps as they stick with the same opener for the most part that we had already been seeing in pretty much all previous rounds here. A little bit heavier in the lobby, but again, there's still that extra trinking pressure moving out from Shazam, and Ricky's so far won this battle pretty much every single time it's happened. EchoFox again, though, just outside of the push, inside of the shed, leading into A. He's still low here. He's actually going to dive down. Was initially out in the open, and Azur, diving on top of the smoke, actually ends up standing on top of a few of the players for a second, but Yam finds the kill against Roka. Rix is hiding on the other edge of this door. They're still hunting for it. The smoke's making things a bit confusing for these guys, and although they find the plant, there's a lot more work to do, of course. They've managed to throw them off at the very least, as they got the bomb down on the B bomb site over here. But there's going to be Rix trying to hold his own. Finds the kill closer up towards A. There's 3 players moving in from Secret. Freakazoid's got a big chance to impact here, but he's a little bit timid about it. Moving in, the support from Rix comes in, but he doesn't find any kills, and Freakazoid is only going to be able to pick up 1 additional frag. The Renegades, again, just completely brute force their way back down there, and they do trade out the round, resetting EchoFox.
Yeah, Ronnie and Ryan actually played that really well. They definitely had a chance to win that round. They could have cleaned up there and killed those 3 players and still had one alive. If you notice, though, every single round so far, RNG, Renegades, they've had Yam and Ricky at outside early, right? And I think that's why they wanted to do a vent drop shot, which I actually think is pretty intelligent, right? They're saying, okay, they're putting 2 dedicated outside right now, early rounds, but they're smoking stuff up. So it's really tough for us to go out hut or anything like that. But, you know, we could kind of dodge that by going through, you know, the door down the vents. Then we say, okay, we're going to dodge their smoke. We're not going to go through the ramp smoke or the hut smoke. We're going to go down the vents and plant, because they do have those 2 dedicated players outside. I actually think that was a really good call. I mean, obviously they lost the round, but I did like the thought process there.
Yeah. So obviously at this point too, EchoFox still sitting behind, been trying to claim up rounds for so long here, but just getting reset again. If you're sitting like in the position right now of Sean trying to lead this team, where do you try to take it from this point?
Well, from here, you know, their money is kind of economically pretty bad. I think they're going to buy here. I think, you know, they're going to say, okay, Shazam can have an op, right? He's not winning this battle at outside. Maybe if we get his op late round towards ramp or something, we can, you know, storm out there and get some kills like that. But they're in a tough spot because they can't go outside early because there's 2 there and they keep losing the battles, right? And it's really tough for them to do anything else towards ramp or, you know, inner early, because they have 2 inner and then they have the ramp smokes up. So I think they need to delay a little bit, make them use some utility to open up that upper bomb site. Maybe they could throw some outside smokes, fake it, hope Yam isn't pushed all the way up outside, and then, you know, hit something else like ramp, right? Because if Yam and Ricky are outside there, smokes come out. If they hit ramp at the right time, I think there would be an opening.
At the moment, again, we can see the money, as you mentioned, being very low for EchoFox. Not a game yet, but most of these guys sitting at around an average of about $3,000. There's the outlier, Shazam, sitting at $6,500, but Rix has already bought up a P250, so that would lean them towards just saving here possibly and waiting for the next round. Yeah,
it looks like they probably will eco here. Seems like Sean lately is calling, you know, from his older teams with like Cloud9 and stuff, especially with Semphis, they always force spot, always, you know, blah, blah, blah. But I think they buy a little bit more conservatively now. The main thing is they're just not getting the defense moving, you know. On Nuke, you really got to get them moving. You got to take control of something, you know, and spread them out. Because if they're playing so close together, then, you know, they're just able to over-rotate so much, and it makes it really tough.
Yeah, and we were seeing we were seeing too, I think if I go back to like the ESCA LAN that happened over in Poland about 2 weeks ago, one of the big things that was actually happening quite a bit, and this was another issue that EchoFox was struggling with, was actually getting that outside control leading up to Secret, is that we would see, it was the new Chiefs roster, which is like sort of a new put together roster. They were under their own org originally, but it's not the Chiefs that sort of became Winter Fox. So EchoFox were constantly trying to go for this usual push. They would smoke off that approach that led over there towards Secret, but constantly there would be an upper who was really good, actually changing his position all the time and just really being a huge menace. So again, EchoFox struggling in the same respect in this match to try and get that outside control and try to push really just anything that can get them towards the site.
Yeah. I mean, they're just having so much trouble just breaking in and even getting early kills. I mean, you look at their kills, 4-2, 4, 4-5. You know, with 1 round 1. I mean, there's not even that many kills off the board. Yeah.
So, thankfully, at the very least, the money for the Renegades, since these past couple of rounds have been a little bit closer, is not sitting in the best position right now. We've got about 1,000 on quite a few of the players, so if we could see EchoFox on the next gun run break them, maybe it's enough to put them down to an eco. But once more, with them going for a full eco here, they will have to try and find any sort of advantage they can get. And the Renegades, again, playing it even more passively than we've seen in previous rounds. Yam way inside of the warehouse, and Azur as well. In a similar position now, just going to be waiting to see if he catches any pushes, but there's Yam. The good position holds. He not only takes down Roka and Freak, but Rix has been lit heavily, and that nade might just do the job. Nope, it's a little bit off the mark, unfortunately. Sean in the process was able to pick up 1 more. But we see Yam moving in, finishes off Rix, and with that, Azur pushes back out to find the final frag.
Yeah, and you see, I talked about it a little bit yesterday during the pregame when we were talking about, I think it was Renegades versus, who did they play on Nuke? Oh yeah, United. Yep. Talked about the importance of having a really good upper player and a really good ramp player, and how it really opens up the rest of the players to over-rotate, to fight outside together, to drop down the vents and go secret, and really just do whatever you want, right? And I think we're seeing that here. They have so much trust in, well, I think it's Ustillo at Heaven usually, and JKS at ramp, that the other players are just able to fly around freely.
Ricky here again is going to be the player outside to watch for the defenses here, even having the extra support a little bit further up on top from Yam to watch for that approach leading itself towards Secret. This time though, EchoFox wanted to play around a little bit more with Lobby, and we can see those 2 players in old radio posting up to try and push their way over there towards ramp, where again, you've got the defense lined up from JKS. It's been quite some time since we've seen them actively probing for this one, and JKS again is not really going to end up finding all that much damage in the initial battle. None at all, in fact. He just falls right back, goes down the steps, and will let EchoFox take control of this initial room.
Yeah, and see, this is a good start. They got them moving. Once they push him down towards ramp, it opens up other things. Like, outside is a lot easier to take now. Roka might be able to lurk some kills at lobby, so we'll see where they take it from here. Looks like they're going to go towards lower.
JKS gets knocked out on an attempt to re-peek back from the bottom of the ramp in the site itself, but there comes the CT defense. Unfortunately, Yam over-peeks this time, but Azur just busts the door open, finds 1 more kill. It ends up going down evenly, though, into a 2 versus 2 to bring us for the retake situation. Ricky's wasted no time pushing back into Secret, and also the vent drop going to be coming back in a second here from Usilla, but won't be anyone waiting initially on the outside. Roka, have to be careful of him, though, as he is just posted up right around the corner. However, Sean's going to push right into Ustillo, and that's where he's going to win that battle. Now only seeing Roka left alive, but he's sitting up on top here. They haven't seen him yet, and Roka finds the first one, but a very fast trade from Ricky closes things out, and it will continue the streak for the Renegades as they get into double digits now.
Yeah, 10-1. That was their best opportunity to win a round yet. I mean, I know they won the round with the Tech 9s, but as far as gun rounds are concerned, I thought they played that really well. And the only thing you could really say about that round is you put yourself in a position to win. You just had a really poor post plan. Sean being in that door definitely should have been able to get a kill. I think he probably pushed up the stairs, though. And he spotted both players, so Roka knew where both of them were, just wasn't able to kill Ricky there.
So that does take us back down again onto another eco for EchoFox. For the most part, just seeing the Tech 9 investments across the board. And a couple armor buy-ups on most of these guys. Shazam, the only one that is going to be taking this a little bit more preservatively. Save up for the up on the following round. Again, we can see he's still literally with no fear even at this point, too. Just pushes right in. He's already found one of them. More are going to be taken down here, too, as Azur busts open the door, finds a pickup onto Roka, and the other 3 are unfortunately nowhere near any positions where they could be able to find trades. So it just continues to be a slaughter here in the favor of the Renegades. Shazam's little attempt or 2 to peek out from the Twinkie. It attempts to use the angles to his advantage with that pistol at that range. Actually, correct myself, he does get 1 kill with it, but again, very short-lasted. He still trades it out.
Yeah, it's kind of how funny is or it's kind of funny to me how Nuke is, because you literally watch them play top hut or Mustang almost every single round. Like, sometimes they play their 15 rounds in the half, but the positions are just so strong and so hard to do anything, you know, to get them out of there. It's kind of, there's no other map really like that. I don't think you can get away with playing the same spot 15 rounds in a row on any other map.
So it will continue to be an issue here as once again EchoFox tries to brute force out over here to get control leading up to Secret. It's 1-for-1 initially. Ricky, though, playing more to his own defenses there, ends up smoking off the approach towards it, and the CTs themselves a little bit impatient too. They push their way back in just to make sure there's no one in lobby, so they won't try to crunch here. Confirm it was a Secret play, and Azur ends up moving back in through the vents, waits for them to push out from the lower double doors. JKS is here too. He's wrapped back in. They should know that there isn't really going to be too much of a risk of them being flanked upon from these positions, but obviously Azur jumping right down from on top. It's perfectly played. Finds one, loops around back to the double doors, finds a second, and the missed stop shot allows him to find another one against Shazam. It's all on Sean Garris. At the very least, he's outside here where he throws them off a little bit by taking down Ricky, but he's lost the bomb. And unfortunately, he doesn't really have any clean way to get back downstairs here. He's going to try to roll down the vents. Just basically looking for that lucky pre-fire if he could find it on someone, but it's all a very cautious game for him. He spotted JKS, took in even more damage, now down at 38 HP, and since JKS has connected that, he's fallen back here. Sean just not hitting the shots that are needed, but there we go, there's the nice correction. Brings it into a 1v2. Waiting now at this point to see if anyone else will creep over towards him, look for that aggressive kill. He still actually has a decent amount of times. This is not over yet, especially if he's able to isolate these two final players, which he has done successfully. Azur spotted it. He still is on the way, so he needs to strike soon, and he still is going to push it, and he will be the one that claims this round and ends it.
So that was actually pretty interesting by Renegades. As soon as they saw that outside and they thought it was like, you know, definitely the call went down that they saw 3 or 4 there. They actually pushed lobby, got aggressive on it, cleared it, made sure there was no lurker, and then basically just stacked 3 people to lower while Ustillo pushed up the ladder to watch any of the fallback. So they had him completely trapped. They didn't even need it because AZR just was first to lower and basically owned them all. But so they didn't even end up needing it. But it was like a perfect rotate by them.
And again, we'll see EchoFox 2 pushing for outside once more. Ricky actually missing his first op shot, which is somewhat uncharacteristic of him so far, but after damage is done by another teammate, moves in, finds a second kill, not watching for the lower push though. That's where Sean's gonna move in. Takes good control of Hell, however, someone else jumping in from Heaven, that's gonna be Yam. Gets himself into a battle with him. He still finds the first kill. Rix jumping into the window at Hell, catches another kill, but it still remains a bit of a scrap battle here for the outside area. Rix maintains though, keeps himself alive, and for now they get this area, but a lot more control still to be gained. And in fact, we can see too that the bomb was left here on the rafters outside, just outside of Heaven, and that's where Azur still has partial control. He doesn't know that the bomb is still there, but if he were to push it, he could confirm that pretty quickly. Now, obviously, the remaining members of EchoFox can be very cautious about how they go to retrieve it, but judging from the current positions of the Renegades, they are pretty safe to move in there and grab it.
Yeah, that round, I guarantee you, Sean, was just like scrim outer. Nothing else is working, just scrim outside.
We do see a 1-for-1 trade as they go back in to take control of Heaven and change this onto his site, which leaves it in JKS's hands now. Stuck behind the shed, really waiting for Roka to go for the plant, which is going to be smart. This does leave him in a pretty safe position, but he dives on it, and he's going to do it in a safe spot behind it. JKS very slow, so he won't catch Roka while planting, but he still gains the angle advantage by waiting all that time. Win the final 1v1. The Renegades just seem completely unstoppable now, going up 13-1 against EchoFox.
Yeah, and what EchoFox did there is they literally were just like, hey, YOLO outside. Yeah. We're going to see what happens. We've got nothing, trying to play like our game, trying to be like a little bit more methodical and teamwork orientated. So they were just like, screw it, man. Just, if you guys think you can get a kill somewhere, do it.
Let's go for it.
Yeah. And that honestly works so much in CSGO, where you're just losing and you're like down like 10-1, and you just let everybody just roam free, do what they want. You end up like 11-4 in a manageable half. It's pretty common.
We started to see that, especially over the past couple weeks or so, where a lot of teams are trying to do that after pauses too, where their opponents are expecting some really tactically advanced strats, some really slow played thing, but instead they just end up rushing the site, and it ends up throwing people off pretty often.
Yeah, and it's tough to do it anywhere else on this map besides outside and a little bit of ramp, though. That's the problem, right? Like, you want to scrim on Nuke, what do? You almost always end up just going outside. There's, like, no element of surprise, which is half the battle of scrimming, right? Is getting the element of surprise.
Very one-dimensional map in certain respects of that, but This time, however, EchoFox, for the first time in quite a while, they have decided to shy away from their initial outside pressure. And this is a lot, as you guys already saw a few seconds ago there, for Yam to push in. No one's watching at all for that type of push. And Shazam, unfortunately, just gets completely outflanked and is taken down. They still have to worry about this, too, because Yam is still sneaking around over there. That's a nice drop kill from Rix, though. Grabs the immediate headshot onto him. And now that they've evened it out a little bit, they are going to look for the execute. Going right out the doorway. The player jumps down into the corner here, but he's a little bit late on it. However, still, no one expects him. Azur grabs 2. Finally goes down to Sean, and they get control here, but they're still a little bit stuck as they do have to worry about this flank as well. And they're going to end up going for the vent drop. Working their way into here. They will get site control. Renegades were still expecting this to work its way over towards A, but the round is certainly not over yet, especially with Sean being as low as he is.
That was a great call to go down the vents. They would not have won that round had they come up here. JKS had like the perfect flank.
Sean again here, also trying to use the smoke to his advantage. Ricky, not even checking the other angle, walks around, grabs the perfect kill, and now it falls to JKS to hold this one. Still isn't expecting this other player here down lower yet either. He goes to check for it, but Rix already has the angle lined up, pre-aimed, and with that, that is going to close out the final round of the half. Renegades go up 13-2. And with that, they only need a few more rounds to close out in their second half, but it will be on T side, so maybe some things can change. Stick with us, guys, and find out here in a few minutes as we bring back the second half right here at the ESL Pro League.
He's gonna get the one kill in that bomb. He can't be done to this side. Phoenix has to stay up. Oh, he gets the trick for that Phoenix. Oh my god, what a way to win that round. They don't have a smoke, so this orb is still.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, TheScoreEsports.com, Mountain Dew, and ESEA.
Welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen, here to the ESL Pro League. We're on our first map of our second set of the evening here between EchoFox and the Renegades. And the Renegades just absolutely destroyed EchoFox on the first half. But we are about to jump into the second half. Before we do that, though, Daze, let's get your thoughts on the first half, how things went, and possibly what EchoFox can change to make things better on this second half.
I mean, Renegades just put on a clinic. Their rotates were so on point and so quick. If you noticed, every single time EchoFox hit anything, they constantly had 3 or 4 there. And one of the issues is that they never had like somebody like holding the door or anything like that to try to catch those lurk kills or those rotate kills. Not many people holding those transitionary periods where to make it difficult on Renegades to over rotate like that. But their rotations were just on point. I don't really think EchoFox played like a terrible game or anything like that. I just think Renegades just has a really, really good CT side.
All right, guys, well, we are going to jump into the second half now, and indeed, it'll be Renegades on the T side. This is where things struggled a little bit yesterday when they went up against United and actually almost ended up losing that map. But with a lead like this, it would certainly be very, very difficult to throw that by the wayside. Slower pressure initially from the Renegades, but it's definitely going to decisively move its way over towards ramp. 4 players ready to explode out here. JKS tried to throw a little bit of a fake there through the door, but that's found very quickly. The push into the ramp, though, ends up going a lot better. Ricky finding the first kill, and well, this other player there just runs away. Roka already inside of the new Toxic, trying to take fast control, but there's players in the site. They rotated down very quickly as well, and it's just a bit of a scrap. Look, nobody checked new Toxic, so Roka just destroys 2 of them. Azur going to be pushing back out here to try to correct this, but he goes down to Freak, and it's EchoFox that claimed the pistol round in the second half.
Yeah, it's going to end up being a long map after that, after that pistol. JKS was actually trying to get down the vent there, and he threw a smoke in front of the door and just got slaughtered by 2 guys just spamming it as soon as he opened it. So they just basically tried a simple JKS down vent for a ramp split. Didn't work out for him, obviously. And now we got Yaman who's still on the Deegs, and we'll see if they could do as good a job that Sean did when he went ramp that second round.
We'll look to see if they can upset, of course, but actually 3 of them going up on top of Twinkie to for some outside control. There's no one here at all from EchoFox. Most of EchoFox, in fact, are still just sticking into the site, so until they wrap around the other corner here, they're not really going to meet much resistance. But when they do try to push either over here towards Secret or around the catwalk to take heavy control, that's where both Sean and Shazam with the scout in hand are going to be waiting for them to shut them down, prevent them from making any more forward momentum onto this site. And on the other hand, of course, you still have members of the Renegades posted up inside of the T-Lobby way, waiting for their own chance to really push back in here. But this trap that EchoFox is trying to open up here and beckon Renegades in with. There's a flashbang initially, and Yustillo gets a nice peek for intel. The problem is that Azar got hit. Yam, though, peeking back out wide, actually finds Shazam up on top there, shutting him down, and really they know Sean's below, so they can play it to where they really won't have to peek him, and even if they do, it's obviously going to be hunting him down. Still now for the Renegades, yet to get towards the site. Again, getting this outside control, but yet to really capitalize on it and move it in where they can get this bomb onto the ground. And with 40 seconds left, they're certainly going to want to do that pretty soon here. So running low on really any time that they can use to scout out for any more intel. This needs to move towards the site very, very quickly indeed. And they are going to try to push it over here towards ramp. And that's where JKS and one of his teammates will group up there to find Roka. That's ramp control gain for these guys. And Sean is even pulling away from Hell now, trying to take down Yeah, but he actually can't find the spray. And Yustillo, while that distraction comes in at Hell, he just rolls right in up on the catwalk and shuts down Sean. They go for the plant, but again, nobody checking out for these doorways here. We will see Freakazoid moving out to grab one. It denies the plant initially. However, they are going to be able to recorrect that, put it back down to the ground. Rix moving in there, chases out Yustillo. Now Rix is alone in a 1v3 up on the A bomb site, and with no real good way to get back downstairs and get to B. He's got no utility, only a P90. He's also lost half his health too. While great damage has been done to really all three of the remaining Renegades players, the uncertainty as far as what lies down below is probably going to stop him from moving in there and call a save for him.
And I don't know if it was just an eco or if it was because, you know, it was 4v5 or what, but we saw such a contrast in playstyles, right? So that round, they left one outer, one went secret after the 4v5, and then 3 went ramp. And then when they went ramp, the outside guy went underneath heaven, but the bomb was still going lower. So after Renegades split up EchoFox's, you know, rotates and made them rotate and made the defense move, they just went everywhere, essentially. And EchoFox was constantly going, you know, 4 or 5 manning, trying to brute force strategy. And, you know, everything in your brain about CS is like, yeah, we go together, you know, we go together. But sometimes on Nuke, the problem is the rotates are so fast that sometimes going together just means the rotate comes that much quicker and you're fighting 4v4. So big difference in playstyles that we just saw there.
And again, the Renegades with an advantage here. Obviously, EchoFox, with them being as far behind as they are on the scoreline here, they did need to force into this round too. It starts off well, though. Sean finding his initial kill here against Azar. But Roka now going to be tested, and he's only got that 5-7. Dives away as soon as he sees the pressure that's rolling out towards him, and really just trying to flashbang out here. Rolls back into the doorway, finds one, as his teammate ends up bailing away from this one, trying to hunt the other side, but oh my goodness, Roka. Amazing that he hasn't been taken down at this point, but at 14 HP, they've also got to be cautious of the pressure from Shazam, which is working its way over here towards the ramp room from Hell. They want to hunt that down there. They want to stop any of these guys from being a nuisance later on, and Ricky actually having some trouble closing out against Shazam, and there comes the drop from Rick up towards heaven. Yam handles that though, trades out the final 2 kills. This goes still in the favor of EchoFox, but now, after the chaos of that, they still end up getting control of the A-bomb site. Whereas in the meantime, EchoFox had already fully rotated down towards B, and this makes it even harder for them to try and do anything about this.
Yeah, and everything positionally, numbers-wise, should have been an EchoFox win for this round, but now, I mean, obviously Renegades are huge favorites, right? I do want to say, though, that lower bomb site is like just made for Roka. I feel like every angle there is just a Roka angle. You know, like there's so many headshot angles when you're just like underneath the we call it like dark spot in there, and just I don't know. Yeah, it was just made for headshotting and such. You know, it's like they tailored it for him.
Keeping the meme alive. So that will end things once again for the Renegades here, and it looks like a swift path to them taking this first map as they go up now 15-3. EchoFox buying again, but it's about as good. A little bit of extra cash, of course, as the losing bonus stacking up, but still, the buy isn't really going to be all that great. They have played now 2 people fully committed in towards ramp room instead of just having Roka here as they did before. And Roka actually holding a really close-up angle too to try and prevent this, and not only that as well, but Rix originally inside of that shed, trying to go for an earlier push in here to stop these guys from, at the very least, just really trying to cut off 1 or 2 of them if they can. But the Renegades have met with some of this pressure and they have decided against the early push. They fall back. They still hold in lobby, but there's that peek from Rix in the shotgun. Finds Ustillo. Seen its potency before from some other players using it on this map, but now he's picking it up and has already done one big kill. Not only this too, but Freakazoid back over there. He peeks back out, finds a headshot on the 5-7. Didn't spot Azure just to his right there a moment ago. He's seen it now, however, but Azure safely tucked away behind this AC unit. Just as I say that, though, there's a flashbang that rolls out, and that allows him to get the perfect kill.
That really was.
From that point forward, it's a cleanup.
Still doable for EchoFox to force overtime. I mean, we've seen crazier things happen on Nuke. I remember, like, on that old Nuke, man. Astralis, you know, oh my god. People get 1-2 rounds max against their CT side. It was pretty incredible. But the thing about what the economic state is right now, you know, Renegades can save, they can make sure they get ops, they can probably do really aggressive off peaks and things like that, and kind of some risky things that could almost certainly, like, 1 out of 4 times this is going to work, you know? So when you're at 4 to 15, it can really change the way you play, your play style, to be something that is like, we only need 1 round, you know? So you could really change how you do things normally.
You can see, too, that Shazam working his way up there, trying to catch some of this really outside pressure. He's already taken down Azure. Nate goes a little bit too far to be able to dispatch of Yam, but early damage is done nonetheless. As they sneak back up, more flashbang coverage is letting Shazam do even more damage here. Ustillo did take down Rix in the process, but at this point, it's pretty much all done for here for the Renegades. Unless they pull off a miracle, then they're not going to be taking this one. Just JKS with the Glock in hand. He's going to try to push his way up to the doorway here, but again, just a Glock.
I'm not going to say it.
Wanted to so bad, man. But JKS now pushes his way out, tries to go for the drop, and obviously Freakazoid waiting up on top of the shed. It does end the round before he gets any further. Just wanted to escape there to get down to the B site where he could maybe find a plant, but not going to happen.
Yeah, AZR though, man, 26 and 11. That guy was like everywhere on CT side.
Pulls up the record at this point here now too. Everybody on Renegades showing some good stuff for them. Ustillo obviously back on the CT side too. He's got a little bit quieter in this half, but inside of that A side, he was doing some pretty good stuff in the last half. They're showing him shine through quite nicely, but now on to another gun round here for EchoFox. They do buy into this one. Freakazoid moves up, takes down JKS. And it's a bit of a slower start here for the Renegades. The problem is, though, is that they didn't really have as much active outside pressure, so it did let them just walk right up to Secret and go downstairs. They've got that. Ricky's still kind of playing around here on top of the entrance to the A site, as we can see. He's actually going to bring his teammates back. The problem is because of the fact that they moved out so quickly, this allowed Rix to move out, find the flank, takes him down, and, well, now they have no choice. They kind of have to commit to this Secret push. It's the only area of the map where they still have control. They're going to move their way up here. And Shazam still putting himself over here in control room. But again, it's very slow pace from the Renegades as they don't want to make any more mistakes here. Freakazoid, unfortunately, won't find his mark, but Shazam dropping back in the double window room, catches one. We see that other player pushing out for Decon there. Shazam takes him down. Yam, well, he's got Vent's control, and he's got 50 seconds on the clock, as well as being the player that has the bomb conveniently enough, but trying to push up the Vents to be a bit sneaky. He's found out by Rix, just decides to go for it, and, well, Rix is going to handle that one pretty easily.
Yeah, EchoFox immediately recognized that it was a 4-1 when Ryan pushed the lobby and got that kill. They knew right away it was a 4-1. He was even able to get that kill, still go down to lower, pop down a smoke and a molly. Ronnie recognized that it was a 4-1 instantly, just comes up, gets the flank kill, 3v5. They know where all 3 of the players are. It's pretty standard, easy round for EchoFox.
So now Renegades finally being completely broken here too. First time in quite a while where we've had to see them just on a full-on eco here, as they're just going to be picking up P250s, and we see one deagle on Yam, Ricky working with a Glock, and the rest of these guys really just pushing for fast outside control, which doesn't go too badly, but the problem is they've got to actually impact and find these kills, and that's where the problems come in. Shazam taking down Azure. Good damage traded out, but now as they try to get onto his site is where they're going to find some real issues. Freakazoid moving out here, takes down Yam. He still is going to make a whole lot of noise as he works his way out to the site too. So a little bit of control being gained, but we're still looking for these other 2 to try and get down Vents as well. And the player down on B just got destroyed, so it's Ricky left alone, really trying to force the issue here, and there's no one on the site originally, so he will find the plan. Escapes with that, and with such a light buy, it is actually a blessing to sort of get away with that on a round like this, giving them the extra bonus cash, but the 1v5 is obviously going to be a big task to ask for, and he does just try to play it crazily there to run away with it, but again, EchoFox will take it.
Yeah, they're going to get 3,700 plus whatever they saved this round. So we're seeing like a way different play styles, right? Like a lot of the time, EchoFox, I noticed on Nuke, they'll actually give up outside a little, like way more than Renegades does, right? They usually don't like push up. Like we saw Yam was pushed up multiple rounds, like all the way to the to under catwalk, always on catwalk, or pushed up underneath their yellow and things like that. Ricky there as well. EchoFox is a lot more comfortable, it seems, you know, not having nearly as much outside presence. Although this round, Sean's going there as well. Freakazoid's going there. They're 3-1-1 again to stop that. So that's a really good change of pace, right?
You see again after that outside pressure is stopped, the rest of them are moving into vents, and this is where Roka has to try and play this out, has to try and hold this. Shazam working his way in to assist with this a little bit too, and there's nobody watching towards the hell push at all. Shazam's first one is for free, and now they're distracted by Roka too. Peeks out, they get the double play on this one. Yam is the last one alive, but he finds one kill, shuts down Shazam, brings us into a 1v3. Problem is, a lot of the time has been wasted here in trying to get control of this one. So already seeing rotations down towards B. Yam realizes this though, so he's going to try to creep over here towards Hell instead, but even in that respect, Rix is going to be waiting up on top there. He will have to try and somehow shoot him out here to be able to take control. There's the first one, actually, catches Rix. Nicely played by Yam. He'll be looking for an ace to clutch out this round, but he's done one of the final three here. Moving in, I'll have to check just below New Toxic where Freakazoid is waiting, and he ends up going down the ramp instead. Almost gets Freakazoid. Just barely survives that with 7 HP, but it is another round for EchoFox.
Yeah, I do want to warn people about playing the spot that Roka was at. Like, the reason that spot worked is is two different reasons, right? First off, Shazam made first contact. Shazam making first contact opens it up. It keeps eyes off of him, and then he's able to, you know, peek out and basically kill two guys on the side. But the only other time that spot works is like if it's 4v5, that helps a lot as well, or very, very late round, right? A lot of people very, very late round will go ramp, and then it works as well.
So Renegades back to the outside pressure finally though, and it's a lot more outside pressure too. Kind of just been toying around with it. We're really only 1 or 2 players previously, and he's still out. He's actually going to be met. Nice little op shot to the face, but ends up hitting him through the box, of course, so it doesn't bring him down completely. Only to 54 HP. They move in. Roka grabbing that first shot with the op and then just diving back downstairs. They try to finish him off, but it doesn't pay out. Ricky and Ustilla now heavily damaged from the earlier pieces of action they found themselves in, and well, again, they have the control of the ramp room, but they don't have anything beyond that. And Ustilla, moving into the A side, actually finds it, as far as he can tell, wide open. He'll still have to be careful the pressure working its way in, and well, that's going to be unfortunate there. Ricky ends up taking down his teammate. Well, he does find Rix waiting in the T lobby way. He does knock him out as well, but still inside of the A site. Ustilla shuts down Shazam. Now they go into a 2v3. They will be able to find the plant. The rest of EchoFox are also spread quite far around the map itself. They are going to be arriving here pretty shortly. Freakazoid working his way over towards Hell. And we've got Sean just at the edge of working in from the main entryway, and Roka too at the vents. Roka's going to need the most help to get back in, so that's where the flashbangs pay off. He jumps his way into the shed. Ustilla, though, grabbing the first one. Ricky with the second, and Ustilla with the final one as well. A quick closeout there in a 2v3 from the Renegades. And they managed to take this map in their favor. 1-0 against EchoFox tonight, continuing their climb forward here in the league. They're really showing that they're bringing some new stuff to the table this season.
How did Ustilla get there? Did he go out the door? I didn't see that, but he just got great position there. We saw right there that EchoFox, you know, they gave up like that outside control and then they 4-1 towards ramp. But one thing I did want to talk about that in that round, you know, despite the fact that EchoFox, you know, lost a round that probably should have won. Ronnie had that lobby control. They had him crunched into ramp. The rotations just were kind of late and they weren't there. They all rotated lower, you know, way too much. The one thing I want to talk about is that Roka actually bought an op that last round, and I love to see that. Like, all you teams watching, whenever you see somebody just randomly pick up an op, like, where they don't expect it, so often on the CT side, you're just going to get a free kill. There's no way they expect Roka to have an op there. And I just want to point that out. I really like that a lot.
All right. So, guys, we do have some analysts waiting for us to break down this map. Of course, let's take it back over to them, to Bears and Ryu. Take us away to discuss that first map.
Thanks, Blue. So the Bears, that was the story of that map seemed like the CT side from Renegades. We saw how good they were, CT side of Nuke, yesterday against United. We thought, well, maybe it's because United, maybe it's like not the top tier team, but they were just as strong against EchoFox on that CT side.
Yeah, Sam made some pretty smart points on how wherever you went, you always fought at least 2 or 3 people from Team Renegades, and their rotations were just so smart, so fast, And on a map like Nuke, it's not necessarily let's just smoke, toss flashes, and go. It's all about timing windows. And since people can get lower, can be outside, can be upper, you don't really know exactly where they will be. But maybe like you toss some smokes outside, you may pull one extra person outside, and that's when you hit another spot. It's just a lot of those timings on a map like Nuke that you have to really just find out.
What do you think allowed Renegades to get their players rotated? Like, how are they able to be in the right position almost every round of that entire CT half?
I think it started with Riccio opting outside. I mean, Team EchoFox did not know how to even stop that. He just outpicked Shazam all the time. Every time they smoked, he'd be lurking with Yam, just in the smoke. Like, it was just so hard for them to even get by him outside. I think maybe if they picked him off a couple times, it would have worked a little better. But again, like every time they spot someone, they fall back and just regroup, reposition themselves, and it was flawless.
It seemed like they knew when to take the fight and when to fall off, give an area of the map, and readjust elsewhere. AZR had a huge first half. We do have the stats from his performance, but he got so many kills on that CT side. A lot of rounds were really close where there was like 2v2 type situations. There's a few, maybe 1 or 2 1v1s. They all seem to be going in the general direction of Renegades.
Yeah, I mean, if you're able to handle those 1-on-1s or 2-on-2 situations, you have to win those rounds. I mean, you can't win a match if you lose all your clutch rounds. It just won't work.
If you're a fan of Renegades, so that was kind of the battle of the North American Nuke teams. Like, those are the two teams that consistently like to play this map. Renegades, we know their CT is good. It did look like they still have some struggles on the T side. Are you a little worried if you're on Renegades, maybe you'll play a European team in an upcoming event and you start T side first?
Not with Team Renegades. I think with time and more people playing this map, we'll be able to figure out the timings of things. Because, again, it is a newer map in the season, and teams generally don't like to even pick or even scrim Nuke. So I think once we kind of play a lot more Nuke, kind of find out the timings and what works, maybe a new kind of smoke or flash or, just a timing window, I think teams will be able to get more T rounds.
It does seem like teams on the old Nuke going ramp, pretty popular. You're able to kind of split lower, get down there. Roka was playing pretty well from the ramp. Days made a great point of the one round he picks up and up, completely unexpected. He's actually standing like up on top of the box. Roka had a pretty decent game for them. We see 16 kills. Do you think teams should do that more? Should they fight, even though it's a choke point? Should they fight for ramp control to try to then manipulate where the CTs are playing, maybe split lower?
I think you have to. Ramp is something. Right now, in the moment, I think teams are kind of scared of hitting because there's so many, like, as you hit out ramp on the right, there's you can like hop a person up on top of the box, and it's very hard to kind of kill that person up there. And so I think once teams are able to figure out the flashes, maybe a little more confidence in taking ramp, I think ramp is definitely a key part of the map, just to force them lower, and then you could kind of work under ladder, maybe fall back to the lobby and hit upper.
And we did see we've got a couple replays from that map. One of the only rounds that EchoFox was able to secure on that first half came on this Tech 9 force buy, where they were trying to make it some kind of a contest. And see the gap in the smoke. Yam is kind of playing here, so they have the information. He's not able to get all the kills, but he does come away with 2. But Rook was able to take Ustilo down first.
Yeah, some nice smokes by Team EchoFox right there, and it was able to block off Riccio from opping them in the head, as he's been doing all match, and they're able to kind of split the defense. And then at this point, they slow it down, they work on communication, and they were able to win this 2-on-1 against JKS.
And this was a really good read from JKS. We were both saying like this is a really smart play. He gave himself a really good chance here, but he gets kind of caught. I think he dropped a flash there or something. Those are the rounds that you have to win, and we saw a couple more of those, like 2v2, like those really intense rounds, and they just kept going in favor of Renegades. We've got a few more highlights from that first half. This is getting late in the half. You're down 9-1. It's a 5-on-5. This is kind of that lower split. They were able to get control of the ramp room, and they were able to get to the lower site. I think this might be the round that it ends in the 2v2. Sean, if I remember right, walk pushes door. How would you have changed this 2v2 post plant? Because it's the post plant that they lost the
I
round
think
in.
Sean should have had a tight hold and just wait for a kill. Like in a 2-on-2 situation and the bomb down, play for kills and just play passive. Like wait for them to come to you. See, he peeks right here at a common spot where people always rotate to, and you can't just do that. You have to hold a better angle and talk to your teammates. Say, hey, I'm holding this. You play off me and bait each other.
Yeah, we saw there that those they stuck together. Sean knew that they were both there, but I don't know if they realized that there was the AWP on Riccio who was able to trade that out in that last 2v1. And then here, it's looking really bad if you're an EchoFox fan. It's 11-1. They ended up taking the last round of the half. This is another round where it seems like, okay, they're going to throw the smoke wall, run down lower. We were talking about sometimes teams feel like making progress on the map is progress in the game, meaning like they throw the smoke wall, they get to lower, they get to the site, they feel like they accomplished something, but this wasn't even close.
Yeah, Azir just makes a hero play right here. He just hops down, no fear in his eyes. He's 11, you know, they're up this much, and he's like, go ahead, out-frag me. And they can't. And, you know, that you can't win games if you can't outshoot them.
If this was a LAN event and AZR puts up 27 kills on you, do you walk over and lick his hand?
I mean, you got to do something. Maybe walk by, do a little, you know, just kind of, hey, how's it going, man? And just maybe lick his ear or something. I don't know. You got to do something. Maybe not. Don't do that, guys.
So the
please.
wet willy. The wet willy, you guys heard it here, is encouraged at
No,
local area networking events.
You'll get charged with assault in America. You will.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
So 27 kills was the stat line for AZR. Very big performance from him. If you're interested in more thorough and in-depth stats, the best place for esports news and stats is the Score Esports app. Take out your Apple phone or Google phone, go to the iOS store or the Google Play Store. Make sure that you download it and don't go anywhere, because when we come back, it'll be the final map of the night between EchoFox and Renegades.